Would you like to have a self-closing door like the ones in restaurants or five-star hotels? Hello everyone. Today, I will share a practical way to create your own automatic door at home with almost no cost, using simple materials you likely already have around the house. Start by removing the hinge from the door. Use pliers to remove the small retaining pins at both ends of the hinge. Place the two leaves securely in a vise to keep them steady. Position a nail against the hinge pin and strike it gently with a hammer to drive the pin out from the center. Continue tapping until the pin slides free. Once the pin comes out completely, separate the two hinge leaves and lay them flat on the work surface for the next step. Place it on the workbench and examine the center knuckle. That middle tab limits space and prevents a spring from fitting inside. Mark the center section carefully. Clamp the hinge firmly in a vise. Use a cutting tool to remove the middle tab cleanly. Work slowly and keep the cut straight. After cutting, use a metal file to smooth every edge. Sharp metal edges can cause injury or weaken the structure, so file until the surface feels even. Measure the gap between the two remaining hinge leaves. Select a tension spring and test its length inside the space. If it is too long, clamp the spring in the vise and trim it to fit. Keep the cut clean. The spring must sit comfortably between the hinge leaves without bending sideways. Heat the freshly cut end of the spring gently with a torch. As the metal softens, bend one end outward to form a new hook. Heat the opposite hook as well, and adjust it so both ends align properly with the hinge leaves. Allow the spring to cool completely before handling further. Heating and shaping carefully ensures the metal keeps its strength. Use pliers to remove any extra hook material so both ends of the spring remain equal and balanced. Place the spring between the hinge leaves and test the alignment. It should sit centered without tilting. Slide the hinge pin back through the assembly, passing it through the spring coil in the middle. Slowly press the hinge pin back through each section, guiding it carefully so it passes evenly through all parts without forcing or bending. Reassemble the hinge fully and check the movement by folding and unfolding it several times. The spring should create tension and push the leaves back toward the closed position automatically. Use pliers to reinstall the small retaining pins at both ends of the hinge. Make sure they sit firmly in place. With the hinge assembled, test a regular door, open it fully, and release it. The door stays open and does not close on its own, just like a standard hinge without tension support. Install the modified hinge back onto the door. Secure it firmly with screws. Open the door slowly and release it. The door should begin closing on its own with steady, controlled motion. The tension inside the hinge provides the return force. This small upgrade improves comfort without expensive hardware. With the hinge complete, shift attention to another practical improvement. A dull knife often causes more problems than a sharp one. It tears paper and crushes fruit instead of slicing cleanly. A simple sharpening guide made from welding rods can restore the edge quickly. Begin by testing the knife on a sheet of paper. The blade drags and leaves rough edges. That confirms the edge needs attention. Even when you lightly slide the blade across your finger, it does not catch or tear the skin, which shows how dull it really is. The flux coating adds light abrasion and helps refine the blade edge. Take 2 welding rods and measure 18 centimeters from the base of each one. Mark the measurement clearly and cut both rods to equal length. Consistency keeps the angle balanced. Prepare a small wooden block. Mark 2 points in a straight line across the surface. Drill 2 angled holes at 45 degrees so the rods will lean toward each other. Keep the holes symmetrical. Drive each rod into its hole using a hammer. The rods should cross slightly at the top, forming an X shape with a narrow gap between them. Spray a small amount of water on the knife blade. Place the edge into the gap between the crossed rods. Draw the blade downward with steady pressure, maintaining contact along the full length of the edge. Alternate sides evenly. The rods guide the angle automatically, helping maintain consistency without advanced equipment. Continue until the edge begins to feel sharper. Wipe the blade dry. Prepare the finishing surface by applying strong double-sided tape to another wooden board. Cut a piece of leather fabric to match the taped area and press it firmly into place. The leather creates a stropping surface that refines the edge further. Apply a small amount of polishing compound onto the leather. Hold the knife at a slight angle and pull it backward across the leather surface. Avoid pushing forward to protect the edge. Repeat several times on both sides. The polishing compound removes microscopic burrs and improves sharpness. Test the knife again on paper. The blade now slices cleanly with little effort. Small workshop improvements like these reduce waste and extend the life of everyday tools. A hinge gains new function. A dull knife becomes efficient again. Both tasks require patience and careful work rather than expensive replacements. If this project helped you, leave a comment and share your thoughts. Subscribe for more practical workshop ideas that improve tools and save money. Turn on notifications so you do not miss the next build. Every small improvement adds up over time.